Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kogwerks video. My name is Clockwork, and this is League of Legends ad hoc DUS gameplay recording, which is basically where I play a game and I talk. It's completely unscripted and akin to doing a live stream event, only this isn't live because I can't upload to live stream and record at the same time an online game. Riot have just released patch 4.2, that says right here, which includes a number of changes to the game. Not major changes, really, except to a couple of different champions, such as Xerath. Can you see this at the moment? Yes. Actually, that's interesting. Hold on. No, it shows up if Firefox is open. So I'm just playing with the Open Broadcaster software. Yeah, screw it. Yeah. So they've made a number of different changes to both Xerath and Skarner. Xerath has had a almost complete rework in how his abilities work. Reworking how his abilities work, yeah. They've finally gotten rid of the absolute worst passive in the entire game by changing Xerath's passive. I keep on repeating the same words and it's annoying, but anyway, from giving him armor in armor based on how much ability power he's got, and let's start that again, shall we? Xerath's original passive granted him armor based on how much ability power he had. The new passive grants him mana regeneration based on physical attacks, which is both a risk-reward type of ability, because obviously to land physical attacks you actually have to get close to the enemy, but at the same time an AP caster uses a great deal of mana, so it's actually something of use to him rather than, I think it worked out at something like you get to level 18 and even if you get nothing but pure AP you only get something like 25 armor from the old passives, so that's actually something that's of value and use to him now. So I'm going to be playing Xerath this morning to check out the rework of his major abilities, which they've basically reshuffled what he can do. They haven't actually changed what his abilities are, but they have rearranged them. For example, one of the ways to increase his power was to root him in place using his E, and then use a bonus to his range and damage in order to attack the enemy. So on the one hand you were frozen in place, but on the other hand you would have increased range and damage. What they've done now is put the rooting effect on his R, Rise of the Arcane, which roots you and gives you a 3-shot damaging ability, and which I think actually works out, gives you 3 shots of Arcane Barrage. I haven't actually played them yet, so I don't know whether or not that's the attack from above, the AoE thing that he used to have, or whether or not it's similar to what his Q is. So I'll have to have a look at that in the actual game, but the only rooting ability that he's got now is Rise of the Arcane. Shocking Orb now directly stuns, because before you had to apply his E and then hit with another ability in order to activate a stun. Instead, E just flat out stuns the target on the first strike. Eye of Destruction sounds like his ulti's basically been moved to W, which should make that significantly more useful. It was caught in the middle of the blast, yeah. Cooldown 10 seconds. That actually sounds quite powerful, because if you get something like Rigels, could be Rigels, Crystal Scepter, and an item that I routinely known as Torment, but that's not actually its full name. If you get the AP item with the ability power and the health, which slows down opponents, which I call Scepter, and the Mask of Torment thingy, which basically applies slow burner effect depending on what actually. That would actually make sense. Why don't I just go into the client and actually have a look? That would make a hell of a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Leandra's Torment. That's the one. Leandra's freaking Torment, which does 2% the target's current health per second. Yeah, so basically you get Torment, does 2% damage with any ability, and 4% if they're slowed, which Eye of Destruction slows down enemies caught within its blast radius. Or maybe it's just center magic damage that is slowed. Yeah, so center of the blast. So if you actually manage to land the attack center, you'll be able to cause 4% damage if you've got Torment. And Arcano Pulse still has an increased range effect, but instead it's a build-up. You begin channeling, and it increases the range over time. So it's more like Vi's Q, where she can charge, she slows down personally, and then you activate it in order to either close with your opponent, or in this case, cause damage, compared to either Vi or Xerath, respectively. They've removed the heal on Skarner. That, I think, is going to lower his overall power significantly. Because the reason that most of his sustain came from being able to self-heal. So, even though I think they've, base shield and ability power ratio. So they've increased his shield, but they've removed his heal. So they've made him more of a deflector rather than a self-healer. It's still going to lower his overall sustain in the jungle and in lane, actually, yeah. Although Skarner's not really much good these days. I mean, in terms of the meta game. He used to be quite strong. And Impale certainly is very useful if you've got allies around to assist in causing damage, but most of the time he isn't very good. Not in my opinion, anyway. I mean, he's not totally useless, but he's not exactly all that powerful in terms of, in comparison to other champions. They've not done that much significantly to other champions apart from Ashe now. They've increased the effect of... Increased the effect? Yeah, they increased the effect, the gold... Sorry, it's first thing in the morning, I shouldn't really be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. They have increased the amount of gold you can gain at early ranks from Hawkshot, because 1 gold at the early ranks, there's no point to it. So 3 at all ranks. Mundo's Cleaver, pointless. Evelyn, Hate Spike. I don't play Evelyn, so I'm not sure whether or not that's all that useful, really. I mean, just read basically what they said there. Rewards enemies for keeping the distance. Rewards Evelyn for getting up close and personal. Yeah, nothing major. They've tried to lower the damage output on Kaylee, whilst Kale, one of the two, whilst increasing her support abilities. Let's get the burst damage. Yeah. Although personally, I thought that was just her built-in strategy. She uses her slow, and then uses the burst damage in order to cause damage without the enemy being able to run. But apparently that's not the point of her. Find blessings to help her and her team get into and out of the fray. Yeah. Yeah, so basically they've increased her support abilities. This is really, really silly. I played against a Riven the other day. There was me as Diana and someone else who could cause damage. We were fighting an unfed Riven, and she deflected everything that we threw at her, that we both were just throwing at her. She deflected everything and survived it, and killed us both. And what they're saying here is that we don't think her ability to deflect damage is high enough. That is, personally speaking, from having fought Riven using a massive damage output champion, I think that is a ridiculous opinion, and they've just made her massively more OP than she was before. It was a silly thing to do. Increased the changed the SFX of Rumble, so he spits flame instead of meatballs. I am so not with it this morning. Lowered versus long range basic powerful threat in lane. Is it? Really? Long range basic attack, powerful threat in lane? He's not that strong in lane. He's annoying certainly for the disrupts, but he's not got that much damage output. Yeah. Basically, they totally agreed with what I said about Yas. Players who know how to use him are extremely powerful, and I'm very pleased to see that they decided to debuff him a bit. Increased. Flow when he dashes, yeah. So they basically just try to adjust his limiter and decrease the amount of flow he generates and beyond the maximum range. I know when he teleports in it's kind of annoying, but I wouldn't say, I've never really seen him come in from miles away though. I think he could use a bit of a debuff really. He is difficult to use, but once you know how to use him, he is a bit overpowered. Pushing and counter pushing. Early game harass. I've always had a problem with Zig's early game, personally. I tend to buy a lot of mana rather than ability power, so it leaves me pretty weak offensively. Well, mana and cooldown reduction, because they are essential for use on the Ziggs. So if they've lowered his early game even further, then it's going to cause me problems. Although I haven't played him in a while, I need to actually practice him a bit. Well, most of the time I play jungle Summoner's Rift, so. But I think lowering his early game is a bit of a mistake. Bunch of minor changes. Don't really care about that stuff. Few changes to items. Can't say I really noticed this. Bit of a debuff on Static Shiv. Can't say as I really noticed this. Yeah. So the major changes in patch 4.2 is the reworks of Xerath and Skana, and a debuff to Yas, which was badly needed, and a buff to Riven, which they shouldn't have done. But this morning I'm going to have a go on new and improved Xerath. With the changes to his passive, I think, well, with the changes to his passive and the fact that I've been playing champions lately who have benefited from gaining a bit of defense, even though they're AP casters such as Katrina, for example. Gaining a bit of defense does actually give you the chance to cause damage and survive burst damage. That's mostly what people try to use against AP casters, to hit them hard and quickly so they can't actually use their abilities to cause damage. So if someone else gets a drop on you, you're dead, but if you get the drop on them, they're dead. Yeah, so with Xerath, with Xerath's changed passive, Nash's Tooth sounds like a good idea, along with Lichbane. So get the Grail, because Chalice is a perfect way of maintaining his mana levels. 40% cooldown reduction from Grail and Nash's. Get Mercury Treads to offset the natural 25 armor over magic resistance that most champions gain naturally. With a 40 magic resistance from the Grail, the runes look like this: 42 armor at level 18 and 47 ability power at level 18. So not pure AP, instead gaining a bit of defense in the early game. And then using the Crystal Scepter and Torment in order to do an effect called Slow Burn, which, as it says on Torment, if you can slow an enemy down, this is basically does double damage against any opponent that you use a spell on. So if you get Scepter first, it's a great item for defense and your personal mobility, because all you've got to do is just touch an enemy with any of your spells, and then you have a chance of moving away or moving closer to them. And then Torment instantly receives a double damage effect of 4% regardless of what target you attack, because slow is always procced on every spell that you cast. If you combine Nash's Tooth and Lichbane together, then you get, after using a spell, you get the Spell Blade from Lichbane and the passive of Nash's Tooth applying at both the same time. And whenever you're not using the Spell Blade from Lichbane, you then gain good laning ability through the use of Nash's Tooth's passive, and obviously on Xerath, his champion passive would also allow him to regenerate mana at a faster pace if he had increased attack speed, because it procs on every basic attack. So this is probably a good way of doing it. A bit of defense, percentage health, damage, mobility from the Scepter, and increasing his basic attack damage output significantly through the use of Nash's Tooth and Lichbane. And again, standard Mage masteries, but rather than going for cooldown reduction, I switched it over to attack speed, because again, his passive, Nash's Tooth, etc. Yeah, that's about it. My plan this morning is to play Xerath in Dominion for a couple of games, then have a go with Atarox, who is on champion free rotation at the moment, and then have a go on Warwick, because yesterday I came up with a rather good tanky Warwick build that also included a Triforce, which basically enhances all of his personal abilities significantly, and giving him a great ability to it enhances his every ability and makes him a really excellent kill machine. I got something like 11.3, so I'm going to record that and post it. Sorry, I got a good night's sleep last night, but I'm just not mentally with it for some reason. I've had caffeine too. Maybe it's the cold. Could be the cold. If you can't tell, I've got a cold. I've never liked Ezreal. I don't particularly like ADCs, but for some reason, Ezreal and me just don't really get along. Leona is on free rotation. Yi is on free rotation, which means probably seen quite a bit, although not a lot of people playing with any defense whatsoever, and you really do need some kind of defense on him. Kaylee, given the changes they made, that's not really surprising. Who else? Soraka, Varus, and Ziggy. And Warwick. Yeah, so if you like my build and you want to go try him out, he's available till next Monday. Yep. I don't have all the champions available at the moment, because I keep on buying runes. I've been playing for quite some time, but in order to unlock everything in this game, you have to either buy, pay to unlock the different champions, or it takes you several years. And I've been playing pretty much since this came out, but I still don't have enough IP to unlock everything. I mean, all the runes, all the champions, everything. Mostly I just unlocked the champions that I like the best. All the ones that were cheapest anyway. That's really quite loud. Who am I playing? Xerath.
I will be free.
You will be free. Free, free, free. Everyone should be free. Free is nice. Just checking if I can actually hear myself, because I've got the noise gate active in OBS. I adjusted it this morning. So you might not have actually heard half of what I just said. I think it's okay. Hope it's okay. It's fine. I don't like Shaco's in opinion. Shaco's in opinion because they tend to run off to the other side of the map and try to take the enemy mid tower all the time, rather than push lanes and try to take towers you can actually keep. Or try to set up excuse me. The Shackers tend to go find a bush somewhere, create a lot of their Jack in the Box thing, and wait until someone runs into it. Which is not a stupid thing to do. You can actually assassinate someone by doing it, but they still waste a lot of time just standing around rather than actually assisting the team. I mean, not everyone does it, but a lot of Shackos are pretty damn useless. Kennen, Jinx, Jax, Nidley. I really hate Nidley. I'm really, really good at Nidley. I mean, yesterday I scored, I think it was 5-0-11 with a Nidley in Dominion. But I hate trying to fight a Nidley because I tend to play champions who I mean, even when you play a tank, if you get hit with a Nidalee Spear at maximum range, you end up losing at least 1/3, if not 1/2 of your health. I mean, okay, I generally pick up something like some kind of lifesteal or spell vamp or something and can recover it pretty efficiently, but it's still pretty annoying to get hit by one ability that comes out of nowhere and then suddenly have most of your health vanish. I mean, I know that's what makes her great as a champion, but being on the receiving end of it is really annoying. And Nasus is very powerful if he's played correctly. His can't remember if this is E or his Q, the slamming ability that increases depending on how many you've killed with it. It's not so useful in Dominion, obviously, because you can't really build it up very much, but in something like Summoner's Rift, it's a monster. Good Jinx is fairly annoying as well. Especially her ulti. I really hate Jinx's ulti. It's like you have a big team fight, you kill everything, you haven't got much health left. You've got enough health left, and you decide to take the tower, and a good Jinx notices that you're just standing there trying to take one of the towers in Dominion, and then suddenly you just die. And you're like, what the hell just happened? Oh, it was Jinx, her ulti. How annoying. It's like it's one of those press R to win abilities. Okay. Old set. I'm trying to rewrite most of my sets. Let's see from just the champion names. Chalice to begin with. I think I'm just going to rush Grail.
Welcome to the Crystal Scar.
Apparently he's had a lot of his animations upgraded too, so this should be interesting. Certainly had his icons reworked anyway. So that's next basic attack, stop mana. Good. Holy crap.
The battle will begin in 30 seconds.
That's quite a range. Xerath, okay, let's see. Holy crap, that's cool. Nice. Sweet, this looks like Harry's ability. Harry? The Firefox. The Fox? No, the Kitsune.
The battle has begun.
That's what she is. She is a Kitsune. If you don't know. That's one hell of a range, that is. Yeah, it should be interesting.
Emotions are only
Your team has captured the boneyard. The enemy has captured the quarry.
Let's see what we can do.
Your team has captured the mill. The enemy has captured the mill.
but not broken.
How's Jarvan got to? A lot trickier than it looks.
Sacrifices must be
An enemy has been slain.
I will show you true.
An ally has been slain.
Learn what it is I'm actually doing. Ah,
An enemy has been slain.
Real magic.
I've got to stop instantly using that.
May crumble, but I shall remain.
It's far more sense for me to take bot against Nasus. awesome.
An ally has been slain. The enemy has captured the windmill. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Causing damage to him. Running out of mana, but causing damage to him.
I see the forces that hold the universe together.
Your team has captured
I have no mana left, so there's not much point in this play. Why isn't it casting? Oh. That's weird.
an ally has been slain.
I have no idea how that works, so yeah, fail all.
The enemy has captured the windmill. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
It's been lagging a bit for some reason.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Got 2,000. Gonna go back.
Enemy killing spree.
Attacking mini monsters 70 million.
Enemy rampage. The enemy is at 75% health. Shut down. Killing spree.
Probably got
The
some magic
enemy
resistance
has
by now.
captured the refinery.
It's actually quite fun. Stop lagging.
Your demise beckons.
An enemy has been slain. Your nexus is at 75% health. An enemy has been slain.
The world may crumble, but
An
I
enemy
shall
is
remain.
unstoppable. Enemy double kill. Shut down.
This is certainly exciting, isn't it?
Enemy triple kill.
much better than what it used to be. Kogwerks has got quite some sort of exercise of futility.
Enemy kills. An enemy has been slain. Double
Turn him
kill.
past, because every time that I damage him, he just
Triple
covers
kill.
it.
I stand at the brink of infinity.
It's kind of like Leona, actually. Sort of, anyway. Yeah, Health, look at six gone.
Ally has been slain. Quest received.
Emotions are distractions. Cannot hold me.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Chase him, chase him. Ah, got you.
Rampage.
Yeah, I am greatly enjoying this, actually.
The enemy has captured a quarry.
The affairs of
How are we down? 3, 2, 4, 280. My team, not that good. How am I doing? 0, 0, 3. Problem is, Nasa's health regeneration. I should probably get my others to this.
Unstoppable. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. An ally has been slain. Your team has captured a quarry.
Right. 980. Decided to get this because I want to do a bit more damage than I am. Oh dear. destruction.
I stand at the brink of infinity.
Your team has captured the boneyard. An ally has been slain. The enemy has captured the quarry. Your team has captured the drill. The
You, my
enemy
lad,
has
are
captured the
powerful.
refinery.
The last.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been
That
slain.
is how you do it. Yes. Oh, jinx it. Freaking OP.
An enemy has been slain.
Careful, I'm going to get blindsided.
Double kill.
Damn it. Huh? Thank you.
Your team has captured the wheel.
How much? 850. No, back to bot. Huh? What the hell? Let's go hide.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has captured the refinery. Killing spree. An ally has been slain. Your nexus is at 25%. An ally has been slain.
Affairs of mortals are beneath me.
I heard him more than he heard me. That is the way it's done.
Control me.
The enemy has captured the quarry. Shut down. An ally has been
I
slain.
have power.
The enemy has captured the refinery. An enemy has been slain.
What the hell? That just killed him.
The enemy has captured the
Oops.
windmill. An enemy has been slain.
Loving nice.
Forces that universe together.
Sucks to be you, bitch.
An ally has been slain.
I am the will of man.
An enemy has captured the enemy. Killing spree. Shut down.
Dead.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has
I
captured the
stand
enemy.
at the brink of infinity.
An ally has been slain.
I will show you.
An enemy has been slain. Your enemy has captured the window.
Nice. Oh, fuck.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Good.
Your team has captured a quarry.
I love it. It's so awesome. Oh, well.
The enemy has captured a quarry.
They get no time. They get no time. Okay.
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain. A summoner has disconnected.
See if I can't take top. He is disconnected. He would disconnect, wouldn't he? We're on the verge of winning. He disconnects. Come on.
The secrets of magic. But I shall remain.
An ally has been
There's
slain.
like 3 of them up here and I've got no backup. We have lost this. Oh, yeah. 6-0, bitches. I'm so playing this guy in fucking Summoner's Rift.
Shut
Ah.
down.
That's me. I have no backup and there's like 3 guys in front of me.
Cannot fathom what I am.
An ally has
Problem
been
pushing a
slain.
lane. No, we lost. I have no problem pushing a lane, but not when there's 3 guys in front of you and it's very easy for them to blindside you, especially with Kennen. I tried.
Defeat.
You went AFK, so what can you do? For the next match, I'm going to have to reset my system because that was lagging way too hard just then. Yeah, Master E went AFK. He was 6-13, so it wasn't precisely helping. Shaco 6-9. Yeah. I did well personally, I think. That is so awesome. Xerath, new Xerath, holy crap, so freaking awesome. I mean, you can stun, slow, and you can stun him, you can slow him, you can cause damage from a mile away, and his ulti hurts like hell. That's just awesome. Just absolutely awesome. I think Nash's would probably be more useful if I was actually laning, maybe, and needed to restore his mana a lot more than they did there. But I mean, you saw what happened. I had enough ability power to cause damage. But yeah, that is absolutely ridiculously OP. I mean, I can score that with Nidley, but with Nidley you expect it because of a spear. But I mean, stun, slow, all of it is, oh, jeez, that is just epic. Okay, let's hand out the kudos. Get rid of that Yi, I think, and the Shaka. Nidley, yeah, see a Nidley 11-2. So easy to get kills with the Nid. Get rid of the Cannon and the Jax and the Jinx and the The only decent player they had was Nidley. And there was me, Zix, and Jarvan. We had 3 good players. They had 1. Comparatively speaking. Well, statistically speaking. 12-15, 9-11, 8-13. Yeah, they shouldn't have won that. Though maybe it cost them more because they were trying harder, defending more. Could be. I tried my best. I mean, you saw what happened, obviously. The problem was that I was fighting Nasus, and he just regenerated his health too easily. I should have gotten Morelos, I think. Although it probably wouldn't have done that much good because he never went under 40% health, which that only applies Grievous Wounds, which cuts health regeneration in half once they go below 40% health. So it wouldn't have done a lot of good anyway. But yeah, I absolutely thoroughly love the new Xerath. Just amazing. I got to play him in Summoner's Rift. I mean, seriously. I said when I was looking over the patch notes that they debuffed the early game of Ziggs. If Xerath works anything like this in Summoner's Rift, he is now my #1 favourite AP mid. And I'm totally going to play him. Yeah, just absolutely awesome. Honourable opponent. Yeah, damn right, honourable opponent. Okay, I am going to take a break. I am going to reset my system because for some reason my system, not the actual interface between the online interface thing, there wasn't any lag on the line. It was my system because I'm also recording this at the same time. So I'm going to reset my system and then play Warwick, I think. Yeah, so be right back.